Welcome, everybody. So, we weren't here last week, but that's okay. There were some complications that came up, nothing to concern yourselves about, but unfortunately, we were not able to be live. We're back, though, and that means this wonderful adventure is going to be continuing here right before your very eyes. As we do every single week, well, at least the last time we did this, an ongoing trend that will be repeating, we're going to throw it to each of the players and allow them to give introduction to themselves and a brief look into their character's current mindset. I believe we started with Tamara last week. So Izzy, we'll start with you and go counterclockwise.
Sure. My name is Izzy. You do not know me, but you could know me if you went on to the TTRP Discord server and added me. Anyway, I currently play Shepard, the Firbolg cleric of Kalimvor, who is about to stare down a vicious monster from beyond his dark vision. Wait, I don't have dark vision. Beyond his vision. And is currently wondering who he can outrun, be it Fiverr or maybe Frank. Hopefully Frank. He's not outrunning Shaba in any way, shape, or form.
Only because Frank has little legs. Let's see, counterclockwise. I think that means I'm next anyway, so.
Yep.
I was trying to remember which way the clocks go. Hi, my name's Curtis. You can find me
counterclockwise would have been tomorrow, but we'll just go with you anyways.
Oh, what crap. Because you're never mind. I don't know what I'm doing. Hi, my name is Curtis. Old Curtis VO on Twitter. Also on Discord. Yeah, join our Discord. The link is in the doobly-doo down below. So, and I play Frank Begbie, the Lightfoot Halfling Sorcerer, and Frank's state of mind is he was feeling a little bit good halfway through the last session because I got a couple kills, so that was kind of nice. But Frank's right back where he was, scared to wishing he had packed a diaper, and unfortunately he did not. So things haven't gotten too messy yet, but I fear the worst.
All right, Zoe, we'll go with you next.
Hi everyone, I'm Zoe Trooper, or Zoe. I'm drinking tea tonight. It's delicious. I play Fiverr, the Warforged Bard. I get a lot of, so far I've been beat up a lot, so I'm hoping today's session goes a little differently and someone else gets to be the tank, the unwilling tank. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
In the long run, you're all just glorified punching bags for me, so I appreciate that. Tamara, your last but certainly not least.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah. Hey, guys. I'm Tamara. I play Shava, and like the others, you guys can kind of catch me around the Discord server most of the week. But for tonight, Shava really just kind of wants to get out of this house. She was tricked with kids that she was trying to help, and everything just went wrong all of a sudden, and she just wants to leave now. She doesn't know how.
Yes, the poor children that you all were tricked into coming into the house, only to later find that these children were apparently dead the entire time, and they are now accompanying you as ghosts. Both Rose and Thorn are currently traveling with the party. And as a brief recap of what happened last week, I'll go into that before we cut away and have our title screen roll. So, last week, the adventure into this strange haunted home continued. The group managed to find a set of secret stairs that led from the attic, of all places, down into the basement, after the help of the two ghostly children pointing out that something was already there, and a small dollhouse they owned that seemed to be a replicant of the home that they were currently in. As they ventured down into the depths after surviving everything else the house had thrown at them, they began to explore, finding that a pair of crypts were down here, some of them possessing names, others blank. And as they explored farther, they found that there was what appeared to be some very rudimentary lodgings down here, straw mats and dug-out dirt alcoves. And as they were looking around, some kind of monstrous noise started to echo deeper from within the chambers, and that is where we called our session. That is where we're going to be picking back up, but we'll be getting to that soon enough. I hope you enjoy. And welcome back. So, as I was stating just previously, while we pick back up, the group is currently in the Death House dungeon. You all have been exploring these rudimentary rooms, trying your best to discern what exactly is going on down here and seeing if you can discover this monster the children are so terrified of. As the noise of this creepy, echoing mass echoes down the walls, reverberates off chambers, it seems to come at you from every single direction. Both the children's ghosts kind of flutter about wildly, paranoid, freaking out, before each of them just drift upwards through the floor and disappear. A few moments later, the sounds slowly begin to fade as the calls of the monster die out, and all that's left is that same constant, indeterminate chanting, echoing softly around the rooms, keeping things from being just too quiet.
What the shit was that?
I do believe that it would be the monster we've been sent in here to get for the ghost children, yes?
But yeah. Do we have to?
Yeah, I'm with Izzy.
To be fair, at this point I don't really want to be here either, and I thought this was going to be an adventure, and I've been battered around too much for this to be fun anymore.
Look, I already have like 3 bodies I need to bury. I don't want to bury any of yours too. Like, okay. I just hope that chanting didn't like summon a demon or anything like that.
Is there still the chanting now?
You still hear the chanting. The only thing you don't hear are the creature.
And are they chanting Kansas City Chiefs? Kansas City. No, that's not it. Okay.
No, it is indeterminate.
Oh, indeterminate. Can we tell where the sound of the monster came from?
With the way it came at you, it sounded like it came from both hallways.
Jeez.
You get the feeling that because this place is carved out in the way it is, it seems like any sound down here carries pretty far, and it makes it very difficult to pinpoint an actual location.
Maybe the house is the monster.
Hey, since there's nobody living here, we can just burn the thing down.
Yeah.
But they've already tried to burn it down, and it came back?
Oh.
You're right.
Shit.
Well,
There also begs the question that the last time you all checked, the house was still surrounded by the mist. If you were to burn it down, you would presumably be stuck inside while you did so.
And then there's that.
I mean, I embrace many kinds of exits from this house at this point. But standing here is not going to get us any more answers. Frank, you go first.
My uncle used to know how to teleport. I don't know how to do that.
That's sure. Fiverr, you take the lead.
No, I don't want to anymore, but I was going to suggest there are straw mats if you fleshlings need to take a little break.
I
Did we take a short rest earlier? Because I'm showing one of my hit dice has been used.
You all took a short rest inside the nursery
Okay.
after you were attacked by the skeletal nursemaid.
I remember now. Yes. That was fun. Yeah. Okay. Shava, I imagine if I ask you, you're just going to put an arrow on me, right? Like,
Chuck will kind of look at you, and then she'll look at everyone else, and she'll just go, "No one else wants to do it. I guess I will."
okay.
Then
Thank you,
Shava. Good job, Shava.
That's
I'm
the
gonna sneak,
spirit.
though.
Actually, Shava, come here for a second. I go to place my hand on your arm, on your shoulder, and I say, Kalimvor thanks you for all this, and let him guide your way. And I cast guidance into her.
Okay. So, as you all are deciding who's going to take the lead in this particular expedition, tomorrow, as you are the volunteer, the way you came from was what you presumed to be the south. but there is a passage off towards the north. None of the alcoves with any of the straw mats in them appear to have any other way out, and it seems like the only way out of here is to take one of the two paths you came in.
Is there any like items or like miscellaneous coins inside the straw?
Nothing here. If you wanted to take some time to tear the mattresses apart and look a little more thoroughly, presumably you could, but just by looking at them, they appear to be very flimsy and mildewy, like they've been here a long time.
Yeah, okay. Well, nothing for the coffers. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I'd sneak off north.
Okay. Make me a stealth check. All right, you're going to use your guidance on that. 23 is a good roll. All right, you creep down the north passage, which immediately turns off towards the west and descends down a flight of stairs. Hold on, please. As you descend that flight of stairs, you see this comes into an even larger room with more alcoves cut out, but these are significantly larger than the smaller alcoves you saw. Set in the middle of this room is a stone basin well, about 3 feet in height. And as you just creep a little closer and look up, you can see it descends down deeper and deeper, complete with rope bucket and water, evidently a well to pull water for whoever was living down here. As you creep around and look through the doorways into these side alcoves, you see these are a little more lavish furnishings. Catching your corner of your eye are what look like actual beds, though the mattresses on them are only barely just more justifiable than the straw ones in the previous room. Linens, pillows, and wooden chests, one for each, and there are 5 rooms in total.
I really want to look through the chest.
Sorry, what was that, Zoe?
Oh, nothing. I was going to say it's interesting. I think I was going to assume this is where the guards stayed or something, but I'm not there, so it's all good.
Well, you're all coming forward, I imagine. You're not too far behind. Okay, you have lots of chests to choose from. Do you have anyone in particular? Or are you just going to go to the first one?
Yeah, just the first one in front of me.
Okay. You make your way over to the wooden chest. You can see that the rock on it is a little rusted, like it's been here a while, but seems to be operational as you give it a soft tug and nothing seems to happen. The chest itself seems to be in moderately good condition, a little old and a little creaky, but it is currently locked, and you'd have to find a way to lockpick to get inside.
Yeah, I pulled my thieves' tools to pick the lock, just because I feel like it'd be quieter than breaking it.
Make a thieves' tools check. All right, wow, that was going to do more than do it. All right, you make easy work of this lock. Takes you only a few moments, and as you open it up and lift the lid back, you see that this chest is largely empty except for what appears to be a small pouch that is weirdly leathery and sewn together. It is not like any skinned animal fur you've seen.
I'm gonna try and investigate it to see. It's just a pouch.
It appears to be a small coin pouch. And as you kind of just move it a little bit, there is coin inside of it. It jingles softly.
Yeah, so I won't open it. I'll just put it in my bag for now.
Okay. The pouch contains what looks around, you guess around 11 gold pieces, and just for the ease of this, 60 silver.
Can I get those numbers one last time and write them down so I don't forget?
I will put them in the chat.
Sweet. Thank you.
Fella needs to buy him a better bed.
Is there anything else?
That was all that was in this chest. It was empty otherwise.
Yeah, so she would just kind of go down the line and open all of them.
Okay. I'm assuming everybody else is tracking into the room once you don't hear, it's dangerous, don't come in here, or screams for help.
Yeah.
The second I see what's happening, I just turn my back to everything and just look out the door.
Okay. As she is making her way through the rooms, go ahead and make me another Thieves' Tool check, Tamara. You see that there is another doorway that cuts off into the south wall on the opposite side of the way you all came in. Appears to be yet another way to go. You have not hit a dead end yet.
Mm-hmm.
On this one, unfortunately, this lock is a little more rusted over than the other one was. And as you make your way at working into it, you hear a tick, and you pull the pin out and you realize that one of your lockpicks had broken.
Oh no.
Thieves' tools do come with a set of 10 as I roll, so you are down to 9 of them.
Yeah, she just kind of skip that box for now, because she doesn't want to break the lock and make a ton of noise.
Okay. If you're just going to keep going around, go ahead and make me another check. All right, that is enough. As you work on the next chest and open that one up, you find that that chest contains what appears to be a black leather eye patch, and that there is a carnelian, a fairly valuable gem, sewn into the front of it.
Yeah, I'd take that, and I'm not really looking too hard at all the things I'm grabbing now. I'm just kind of grabbing them and putting them in my bag for later.
Okay.
I've decided to pay myself for this job.
Go ahead and make me a few more rolls, and we'll just go ahead and get through the rest of these. All right. There's only 2 left. As you work at those next 2, the next one I'll say you work at, and it takes you some time, and it's just, again, defeating you, the rust on the block. Fortunately, you are a little more careful in this attempt, and your lockpick does not break. The only thing stopping you from trying again is just time and energy. As you work at it more and more and more, eventually you do find the secret to the lock, and you manage to slowly open it up, and you find that inside this one is what looks like an ivory hairbrush that has silver bristles. The more you look through these rooms, you see that this appears to be a personal quarters, as was obvious, and far more well appointed, perhaps of a higher class of individual who was living down here. These appear to be personal belongings.
Okay. So now that I've kind of opened all the chests, can I just kind of look around the room and see if I see anything else other than that door?
Well, you've tried to open 4 of the 5, as 3 of those checks kind of went to 1 because you just weren't failing, but you weren't succeeding. So if you want to try again and get that last chest, you can too.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
Man, I'm so glad no one's committing sins against Kalimvor in here.
Unfortunately, that lock again proves just a little too difficult for you to manage. The rest of you, as you kind of meander about the room, just looking about, it is you, Shepard, when you start to hear that chanting seems to fall into a more direct line. Again, it is indeterminate. You can't quite make out what is being said, but what you can make out is that they seem to be progressing through something. This is not just idle chanting that is being made for sake. It seems like the impression is that they are going through some form of ritual, or it is being made purposefully.
Could I determine the nature of this kind of chanting, like what its purpose is?
Unfortunately not, because you can't make out what's being said.
Okay. So it doesn't match any of the what do you call those psalms that I would know?
It's hard to tell what they're actually trying to do when you can't make out the words.
Okay. As I look down this doorway, guys, I am starting to notice that this chanting's getting a little farther along in their whatever they're trying to do. And as much as I would love to turn around right now, I do not want to be disappointed by you all. Maybe we should keep going.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm kind of frustrated with that last lock. So Shaw will just say, "Yeah, you're probably right."
Okay. Are you going to take the lead again tomorrow, or are you going to let Shepard take the lead this time?
She will offer Shepard to go first if he looks like he's going to go first, but if not, yeah, she'd go first.
Well, I'm blocking the doorway, so I'm going first. I'm not going to turn around. I'm not going to ask any questions. Just please don't disappoint me. And I keep walking forward.
Okay. As you walk out through the passageway leading off towards the south, you can see as you send words are hard, everyone, a flight of 5-foot stairs. You immediately come to a small landing with another 5-foot set of stairs leading up to the south, and there is a hallway that leads down off towards the west, which, with the light from your light spell, you can see that there appears to be yet 2 more directions. Another passage that leads off towards the south, and one that leads down towards the west.
Well, we might as well head into the pits of hell. Let's go downwards.
Deeper?
Yeah. If I was some sort of weird chanting that summons the sound of some horrendous monster that can echo through all these caves, I would want to be as close to the bottom as I could. right? Am I crazy?
No, that's probably right.
Okay.
Let's march to our death, boys and girls and machine.
It is funny that you say that, because as you were saying that and you're kind of taking steps along this hallway, your foot plows through what appears to be a rotten floorboard, and you plummet down a 10-foot pit.
Ah.
You all just see Shepard say this and then immediately drop out of view as he drops 10 feet and is kind of crunches into something. As you realize very painfully, Shepard, there are spikes in the bottom of this pit. You are going to take a single point of bludgeoning damage and then 15 points of piercing damage.
Shepard!
Are you okay down there?
Ow.
Yeah, I like drop to my knees and peer over the edge.
Yeah. You can see that just in this small corridor, there is a 5-foot pit that has been dug out, and dirt and raw floorboards have been placed over it in case somebody just decided to wander through here.
My bones broke my fall.
Who would place such a thing outside the living quarters?
This hurts so much.
This is not good.
Oh gosh. Does anybody have any rope?
I have some hempen rope. Except I'm just a halfling. I don't think I can pull him up out of there.
Well, let's get started on rescuing our good shepherd.
It's in the bone.
Fiverr, do you think you can pull him out if we can hook him on the rope?
Very well try.
If you two can like lower me down there with him, I suppose I could tie this rope around him. I don't know if he can tie it around himself or how badly beaten he is.
He is still conscious, and the pit itself is only 10 foot, so honestly, he's so tall with his arms reach, he could probably reach the top and try and pull himself up. He would not need the rope.
I don't think it hit any organs. I think all the spikes hit my hips and just stopped. I'm going to try.
Yeah, in that case, I'd offer him a hand.
Yeah.
Help. Oh, no.
All right. Without too much difficulty, you can pull Shepard up out of the pit, but now there lies the issue that there is a pit in the hallway you all are attempting to go down. Judging from the way this place is laid out, the two passages that lead to this hall, you get the feeling that you could probably circle around if you were to just make your way through the rest of the place, but if you wanted to go down this way specifically, you'd have to use a little bit of intuition.
Shepard's going to assume the fetal position.
How wide is the gap, I guess?
Yeah.
The gap is 5 foot wide, same as the hallway.
Oh, you guys could probably just throw me across.
So Core would look at Fiverr would look at Shepard and say, I'm going to repay the favor you did for me earlier and heal you, but I don't need to knock you out, so that's fun. And I'm going to use Cure Wounds on...
Could you please knock me out? I'm in so much pain.
You should just tell him you need to knock him out and then just get your revenge.
Okay.
Shepard, you look terrible.
Go ahead and enjoy your 11 points of healing.
Whew.
My wounds, they're healing. But the bruises, how?
The only thing injured is your pride.
I begin to stand up. Thank you, Fiverr.
You're quite welcome.
Can someone else take lead? Please?
Can we jump across this hole, or is 5 feet too far to jump?
Potentially you could jump across the 5 feet gap. The ceiling here is about 10 foot high, so you'd have to be a little careful, as you don't want to jump too high and smack your head against the ceiling, and then you'd have potentially bigger problems than just falling into a hole.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Can you guys get across? I mean, you probably just throw me across. I don't think I can jump 5 feet.
There is just enough distance for you all to kind of back up and get a decent running start at this as well.
You know what?
Or do you want to go back?
No, if there's a pit trap here, that means there's something important that way.
We've got a room full of moldy mattresses. We could just keep throwing them in the pit until it's nice and soft to walk on.
I was just thinking about that, how long the beds were.
Honestly, with the beds, considering these beds actually do have frames, if you could manage to carry it up the stairs and get it through the corner, you think that as long as they held out on weight-wise, they would maybe be just long enough to fit across this, at least to scamper across.
Sure, let's do that, please.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That works.
So elect somebody in your group. I imagine two of you are going to have to do this, so one of you can do this with advantage. I would like one of you to make me an athletics check, please. Just to assume that you all can probably carry this up. They're not overly heavy, but it is just large and a cumbersome device. Everybody here has probably moved a couch or a bed or at some point in their lives. You know how tedious it can be to get it down a hallway and up a flight of stairs.
Frank, your time to shine.
All right. I'll help you out. Athletics? Yeah.
Well, if somebody's helping you, you get to roll twice.
I am helping.
Oh, because you said advantage. I'm sorry, I forgot to click advantage.
I'll say with an 11, this awkward sight as you both kind of lift the bed up, and Frank is kind of holding it to the best of his ability over his head, and Fiver, you're kind of holding it down by your knees just by the sheer difference in your height. As you kind of slip it around, you bump up against a corner, all the while the creepy moaning still droning on and on into your ears. But you kind of start to slowly work your way up the stairs.
Careful now, don't chip the paint.
Now go ahead and make me a straight dexterity check with advantage, Franco, as you got to maneuver this thing around the corner.
Dexterity with advantage.
The worst lifting partners.
That's fine. You managed to carefully maneuver it around the corner without getting the legs or anything else caught on these pillars that support the ceiling, and you managed to climb it across. It takes both of you to kind of heft 1, 2, and kind of toss it across the gap so it properly lays out. But once it falls into place, there's a bit of squeaking, sliding into place, but the bed sits neatly across the pit.
That right, Fiber?
That was more entertaining than I anticipated. Oh, my spirits are feeling pretty good right now.
Are you ready to lead the way again?
Sure. This time I am like every 15 or so feet, I just kind of kick the ground in front of me and make sure that it's still solid, and then keep going.
You all creep across the bed. It is sturdy enough to support your weight, so there's no worries about that. And as you creep down towards the separated passage, you realize now when you stand here, the chanting appears to be coming from below. The stairs that lead up to the south appear to lead off to an intersection. Many more places on this floor to explore, but as the chanting is coming from below, it seems that if you want to figure out what is causing all of this, that may be your best bet.
See, I told you. I don't like that I'm right.
Maybe we should try to sneak from here.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, sure. Scream if you need me. That works. Yeah. I put my hand on your shoulder and say, Kalambor will bless you, and may your soul go to the correct place when you die. And I cast guidance.
All right. So tomorrow you were just going to stealth and start to creep your way down the stairs.
Yeah, just kind of like peek into the room and then kind of go back and tell everyone what's going on.
Well, as you move around here, you realize there is no room at the bottom of these stairs. At the bottom of the stairs, there is another landing, like a stairwell that curves off 5 feet. And then as you peer around that corner and look down, you can see a staircase that descends maybe 40, 50 feet to another landing that opens up into what appears to be another room down below. This is just a very long stairwell.
So once I hit that first landing, I go back up and tell everyone so they can start coming down, and then I go down that second flight of stairs again.
Okay. Everyone keeping close behind her as she creeps down this one?
Yeah, well, I'm squeezed in between Fiver and Shepard if possible.
Okay.
He will follow.
All right, Tamara, you will get down here first as you continue to keep a solid 15 feet ahead of the others to keep a quiet eye on everything. As you approach down here, the chanting you've been hearing finally becomes distinct. and you hear the words that are being chanted are, "He is ancient. He is the land." Over and over again, but what sounds like a chorus. As you arrive down at the bottom and peer out, you see what appears to be down here is a reliquary. In total, there are, let me double check my notes here, 13 alcoves cut into the wall itself, about 3 feet off the ground, and in each of them is sitting what appears to be a macabre or even innocuous objects.
Like skulls or heads or...
Well, as I see...
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed.
I don't like this room. It just killed our DM.
Look, it could be worse. Actually, no, it can't really be that much worse. Maybe we just stepped in on some, band practice. Like, there's a band down here, and they're just like a real heavy metal band, and they're just getting into the nuance of it, right? This is just some sweet black metal down here.
Yeah. He's risen, he's ancient. Yeah, I can kind of get it, but uh-oh. Camera's a little messed up. Let's see. Oh, there he's back. Hey!
Apologize. Apparently I hit the airplane mode on my laptop. Whoopsie. So where was I? I'll go through this list again and we'll just start reading them over. Yes, so the items you see in here are a small mummified yellow hand, sharp claws on a loop of rope, a knife carved from a human bone, a dagger with a rat skull set into the pommel, an 8-inch diameter varnished orb made from what appears to be an oversized eye, very large, as big as, well, my forehead even, an aspergillum carved from bone, a folded cloak made from stitched skin, looks very similar to the pouch you found earlier, a desiccated frog lashed to a stick, a bag full of bat guano, a hag's severed finger, a 6-inch tall wooden figurine of a mummy, its arms crossed over its chest, an iron pendant adorned with a devil's face, the shrunken, shriveled head of a halfling, a small wooden coffer containing a direwolf's withered tongue. And one of these is each set into all of the alcoves set around the room.
What the...
That looks like a halfling's head.
Really? Well, you can get up right beside it. We can check sizes. Anyway.
Shepherd.
What? I'm just trying to... Look, I'm just as scared as you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make it...
Well, I'm kind of angry now.
Sorry.
Oh, not at you. Somebody's killing halflings and putting their heads on display. I don't see any furball heads in here. Or jukebox head, like Fiverr. Don't see none of them.
Jukebox?
Oh, sorry, Fiverr. I didn't mean to slur.
But this is such an odd collection of things. Like, there's not even, like, a commonality between any of them. Why are they just here?
I don't know. I'm kind of interested in that eyeball orb. How big was that?
It's larger than a baseball. I would say it's probably more like a not quite kickball size, but like a not quite fully inflated kickball. Very large.
Would you recognize some as spell components?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
I never saw a spell that required a halfling head.
Necromancy.
Nothing that comes to mind, unfortunately. You're not quite sure what any of this might be used for.
Maybe Bane Halfling. Although the use of Bane Halfling when you already have the halfling dead is probably not very useful.
I'm surprised it's something you know about, Shepherd.
Look, as a cleric, I must know all the good and bad magic. Not really.
Yeah.
As you all are sitting around this room and just kind of making your way, looking through the alcoves, the chanting is not showing any sign of stopping. There are two passageways off towards the west. One that appears to be a ramp that descends down into a pool of water. Another that just leads off towards another curve and another turn. But as you're looking through all of them, Tamara, you start to hear a very soft whispering coming from one of the alcoves. And it just sounds like, here, come here.
I'm gonna go. It seems like good advice. She's curious at this point. She's just gonna go with it because she doesn't know what else to do. She will stop and look around though. She'll just go, does anyone else? Is it just me?
Yeah, can we hear that too, or is it in her head?
No one else appears to hear anything.
Oh yeah, I'll just kind of walk over there.
As you walk over, you can see that the item that appears to be whispering to you is the Iron Devil's Face. And as you get closer to it, it just says to you, take me with you. I must have a mouth. I must speak.
She would reach for it. Yeah. It's definitely something she'd do.
I don't know if touching that's going to be a good idea, Shava.
I mean, if it does have an effect, we'll know it immediately.
She's probably already touched it by now.
She's just kind of reaching out. You gingerly pick up the chain and the devil's face, and you kind of look at it. And as you are holding it, it slowly kind of turns to look at you. And as you kind of look into its eyes, it just says, carry me, and I will have a voice.
Well, we can take that if you want, but everything in here is really disgusting.
Yeah, she'd take it and she'd slip it in her bag.
Okay. As you kind of slip it into your bag, the whispering, that constant noise in your ears slowly kind of fades and drifts out. But you may mark down the iron-faced pendant, or the devil-faced pendant in your character sheet.
Shepherd is going to walk over to the halfling's head and start saying prayers over it. Oh,
okay.
I know you're a little bit far gone there, buddy, but everyone deserves their last rites.
Make a religion check.
Oh no, I'm not too good at that.
Okay. As you are saying your prayers, the shriveled head, the eyes kind of sewn and stitched together across the sockets, you swear you see the edge of the mouth just kind of twitch a little underneath the banding that is sewing it shut as well.
Okay, we're done here. I'm just gonna back away. That moved.
What, the head moved?
Yep, that moved. Who? Fiver, attack it. Kill it.
I'm not touching it. It's... Ugh.
I think the poor guy's already dead. You just probably should leave him.
No, it's still there. It twitched. I saw it twitch. It twitched.
Wow. Just let him sit there and twitch.
Undead.
Oh, all right.
Do I have to re-explain who I am to you?
I'm sorry, Father. No, you do what you think you need to do. Is there like a torch or fire? You know, should we like put this poor halfling head out of its misery?
I'm just, you know what? Fine. If you guys aren't going to immediately do anything, I'm going to take my mace and just cave it.
Okay. It's easy enough. It's a head that's not moving. You just give it a solid wallop, and as you do, you hear as the skull crunches in, and you don't quite flatten it, but it looks a lot more like a deflated kickball now. No blood pours out. It seems to have been completely dry.
I have defeated the evil. The evil has been defeated.
You did good, Shepherd. Is that what you call burying somebody?
You know, Frank, I need you to listen to me very closely. I'm like 6 inches from a panic attack. Please don't. I think I'm already insane. It didn't fight back. It twitched and it didn't fight back.
That's true.
I pick up the head and I make sure it's not twitching anymore.
You give it a once over, turning it back and forth. It does not appear to have any movement left in it.
Cool. Kalimvor blesses you, and I put it back on the pedestal. That's all you're getting.
Like gagging sound from Fiverr, despite the fact that Fiverr has no guts, so it's fine.
Fiverr, you really need some oil for those gears. I can hear them grinding from here.
It's like when you go through a drive-thru and the person on the other end starts coughing through the intercom.
Oh. Well,
Right.
There's some interesting stuff here, but none of it seems very useful to me.
No, it isn't. Why is there bat guano here? Okay, let's keep going, please.
All right. You have two pathways to make your way down. You can either slide down the ramp into the pool of water, but I will say just investigating that for a moment, you see that at the end of it, there are 3 large iron bars that run down the length of that hallway, a gate that seems to prohibit you from going down that path.
Down the sliding path or down the...
Down the sliding path.
Oh.
It's only about 15 feet away from where the exit of the room.
Like the latrine or something, too.
Right.
Well, as you look out beyond, you can see that these 3 bars are separating you from a much larger room. The room itself is flooded with about 3 feet of water, Frank. You would have some difficulty getting around here. You would have to almost swim to be able to get around. And as you look out into this room, you can see that there are stairs that rise up out of it and circle around the room. The room itself is fairly large. It's around 40 feet by 40 feet in size, and set in the middle of it is a multiple steps leading up to a stone dais and has what looks like an altar set on it.
Interesting.
We don't want to go down to the pool room. I might drown down there.
So either you all have to figure out a way to slip through these bars, or you'll have to find another way around.
Oh, I thought there were
There
2
is-
exits.
There is the other pathway if you'd like to go through that
Oh,
one.
but it goes to someplace different.
You're not sure, but it does lead off and it does curve away from the other room.
Shit. All right.
Well, we are confronted with this. Should we try and get around these bars here?
Well, you're not going through them. So, yes? Possibly. Sure.
How wide are the bars?
They're spaced about, I'd say about a foot apart.
Oh.
It would be, some of you might have difficulty slipping through. Frank, you could probably slip through without too much difficulty if you wanted to, but you'd be basically swimming underwater in the process.
I have my halfling nimbleness that might put me through the bars. I don't know. Do you guys want me to swim in there and see if I can find a way to... Does it look like they could open? I could go in there and look for like a...
Make a perception check.
Okay. Perceive. They're in alphabetical order, Curtis.
As you kind of brace your eyes up against the bars and look back and forth in the room, light gleaming behind you, you make out just the sliver of what looks like a rotary lever in the wall, something that seems like you could pull it to the side, and considering where it's placed, you get the feeling that would probably what lifts the bars.
All right.
You would just have to get on the other side of the bars to move it.
All right. Then I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to dive in, swim through the bars, and make my way over to that lever and see if I can't crank that bad boy up.
Okay. Make me an acrobatics check to try and squeeze yourself through the bars.
Acrobatics.
All right. 12 is easy enough. You are a very nimble halfling. As you kind of squeeze through the bars, there's a second where your head kind of gets stuck a little bit, but it just takes one good pull and you kind of plug it out. As you kind of turn around, you can see your ally sitting on the ramp and in the water just looking at you. As you're kind of all the way up in the water just barely reaching up to the top of your head. But after a few, strokes, you can manage to make your way up towards a step that lifts you out of the water, only about a foot deep. And from here, you can reach the wheel and begin to pull it. Fortunately, it doesn't appear to be stuck or very heavy. Just as you begin to pull the side, you hear a creaking motion and the bars, and as you pull bit by bit, the bars begin to rise up, allowing everyone else into the room.
How dark and murky was the water?
It is not very dark and murky. It is. It
I
appears
would
to
have
a lot
been
of,
looking for scary fish type things.
well, you don't see anything like that here. Well,
Okay.
the water is not very clean. With a light source from Shepherd, you can see, about 5 foot through it, and since the water is not so deep, you can get a good
Oh
feeling.
yeah, I forget it's dark down here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank.
There you go, guys. Except now I'm all wet.
So,
Being wet.
as each of you make your way into this room proper, the chanting stops. The smooth masonry walls provide excellent acoustics. Every movement, every sound, everything you do seems to echo back to you. Featureless stone pillars support the ceiling, and a breach in the west wall leads to a dark cave heaped with refuse. Murky water covers most of the floor. Stairs lead up to dry stone ledges that hug the walls. In the middle of the room, more stairs rise to form an octagonal dais that also rises above the water. Rusty chains with shackles dangle from the ceiling directly above a stone altar mounted on the dais. The altar is carved with hideous depictions of grasping ghouls and stained with dried blood.
I don't see no monster.
It is quiet. There's no sight nor sound of a monster.
And the chanting stopped?
The chanting has stopped.
Well, that's
It
good.
is eerily quiet in here now, save for your own vocalizations that seem to bounce back at you from the walls.
Feeling as though the altar has some sort of significance, I would like to go check that out.
Okay. So, Fiverr, you make your way across, kind of wading through the water, stepping back up onto the stone altar. What is everybody else is going to do in that process?
I'm staying up on the ledge on the side, dry. I don't feel like swimming over to the altar right this moment.
I'm
Okay.
gonna follow Fiverr. If there is anything that I could recognize, I would probably need to be closer.
What about Tamara?
So Shopper would take.
I keep saying Tamara. Shava. Shava's the name of your character.
Yeah, you
It's a
can step
very,
on.
very D&D name. I approve it.
Shava will take Phanamar out of his cage and kind of let him rest on her shoulder before wading through the water.
All right, so you're going up to the altar as well. Okay. As Fiverr steps up onto it, the chanting rises once more. As all around you on the ledges, 13 dark apparitions appear overlooking the room. Each one resembles a black-robed figure holding a torch, but the torch's fire is black and seems to draw light into it. Where you would expect to see faces are voids. And as you watch them, the echoing chant begins, though now they scream, "One must die. One must die. One must die."
So these guys are standing over on the ledge where I'm at.
You're standing on the stairs, so they're kind of up above you, but they
Okay.
are on the same landing levels, yes.
They're just chanting, though. They're not making any aggressive movement.
They're all just chanting at you.
I about shot one with an arrow.
But so many have already died.
How many of them are? You said there's like 13 of them?
13 in total.
Counterpoints. None of us die.
Did you guys touch something?
Well, I don't know much about rituals, but if we were to kill someone for them, I think it would just complete the ritual, and we don't necessarily want that.
No.
Not to mention, if we kill someone, it has to be one of us.
Does it though?
Why y'all looking at me?
I'm looking at the owl.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah. It's just
Looking
a
at
bird.
the altar and all the sacrificial stuff that's around me, Can I get an idea of what this ritual is for?
I'll let you make a choice. You can either make me a religion check or an insight check.
How about insight?
Even with the 19, as far as you can tell, there's no real purpose to this other than what it seems to be just appeasement. Like they desire blood for blood's sake. As you look at the altar, you do get the idea that whoever or whatever would be sacrificed would need to be sacrificed both on the altar and that somebody's blood must be shed.
Yeah.
Death is demanded.
I mean, like, this seems like a bit much. Like, I'm all for sacrifices. I've seen ships of people go into the sea and never come back to appease the sea. You know, all that fun stuff. But this just seems like death for death. And I'm not about that, honestly. That's not my life.
No. Is there another door to this room or just the one we came in?
Just the one you came in.
Shit.
Can I just, like, pick up a rock and throw it at these apparitions and see if they'll, like, go away?
Sure, it's easy enough to just pick something innocuous and just toss it over in their direction. But as you do, it just kind of passes through one of them. Doesn't seem to have any effect.
Yeah, I don't think they're in any position of power to require us to kill anyone. They're just here. So just ignore them, keep doing what you want to do. And I just start searching around, see if I can find anything useful.
All right. Are you going to step off the dais, or are you going to search around the dais?
I'm going to search around the dais.
Other than the carvings that are set into it, there's not really anything here. The shackles that hang down from the ceiling, you realize, must be how they held people in place while whatever dark rituals were enacted upon this altar.
Yeah, I ain't judging. Sometimes this happens. This is life. But I ain't about doing it. So
We did get their paperwork earlier from the last will and testament and some sort of book that talked about their rituals. I'm not sure if that would be any use, but I don't think anyone really gave it a good look other than, hey, these are rituals.
Well, and you know, nobody was down here summoning the monsters that the kids were, right? I mean, maybe this isn't where the monster is, and maybe we are playing with a bigger monster who's not here yet.
I don't know what to do. How about we come back to this? Java, what do you think?
I don't think I have no idea what's going on here anymore. I'm tired of this house telling me to do things, though.
I mean, at least it's telling us where to go. Kind of. Not really. This all sucks. Anyway.
Yeah, Shava will actually kind of step off the dais just to kind of look around the room. Maybe kind of get a little closer to one of the apparitions.
Okay. As you make your way off towards the western side, the only thing that you haven't really had time to investigate is the breakage in the western wall, where piles and piles of refuse are just thrown all over the place. It seems like masses of mold, mildew, fungus, and vines. Like seepage down here is caught on something underneath it and just growed rampant and apparent.
But it's a hole in the wall?
It's a fairly large hole in the wall, but it's from where you are, Franco, you would have to make your way to the other side of the room, either swimming through the water or walking along past the apparitions.
Yeah, I'm not liking any of this. Maybe the monster's in that hole.
Can I see into the hole? Other than that, I guess if I get a little closer to it.
Sure. You can get pretty close to it. As you step up, the smell of it is rank and offensive. It kind of gets into your nose, and you have to stop breathing for a moment just to shrug it off. But as you look around it, go ahead and make me a nature check.
I'm going to go down to the lowest step before I'm submerged and start walking around. the lowest step away from the apparitions, and then trying to walk my way around the edge of the room to closer to where she is.
Well, there's only stairs on the 5-foot section. If you step off the step.
Oh, I thought they went all the way around the room. Okay.
Yeah, no, the only stairs that go all the way around is on the dais.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. There's only 2 sets of stairs that go up. Unfortunately, everything else there is a 10-foot rise.
All right, Frank's swimming then. Damn it.
As you kind of leer into this, Tamara, something about this seems a little off to you. And as you just kind of look a little closer and you look at how all this is put together, you realize that all of this sitting here in this side passage, it doesn't appear to just be a random assortment of items. You believe that this pile of refuge is a creature, but it is one that is currently dormant, known as a shambling mound.
Is that what that thing was on Fraggle Rock?
Shava will back away very cautiously, but also very quickly. And she'll head back up the dais to where Fiverr and Shepard are kind of closer, and she'll just look at them. She'll go, guys, we should really go.
Why? Look, if it's
I
because of
found the monster.
Is that the monster we're supposed to be killing? I'm not even sure that...
Yeah.
Is that monster's what's creating the fog outside that's keeping us in this damn place?
Probably not that, but it's definitely a monster.
I'm so confused and scared. Where's Fiverr?
What is it?
Do you know what a shambling mound is? It's sleeping now, but it's not going to be very happy when it wakes up.
A shambling mound. Is that just a drunk person that just fell over in the street? I don't know what a shambling mound is.
My uncle was a shambling mound.
So was your mother. No, that was rude. I'm sorry, Frank.
You knew my mother.
Would I know enough about it to describe it to him, DM?
To your expertise with it, with a 15, you kind of... Oh, I did not mean to roll that. That was me clicking the sheet. Because I was just...
I know it attacked me.
That's a foreshadow.
You realize that it is what appears to be... it's a kind of a sentient plant creature. Made up of vines, mildew, and other such loose objects that come together in a mass and have somehow managed to gain a form of sentience. They are known for feeding on pretty much any kind of organic material.
So they're undead?
They are not undead. They are a plant.
That sounds like someone else's problem.
So I would propose that we all leave and then close the gate behind us so that thing can't chase us out.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. I can close the gate and then swim back through.
Yes. Thank you, Frank, for your sacrifice. I appreciate that you take this upon yourself without even us asking.
I'm only doing it, Shepard, because you know my mom. So...
Again, I'm sorry, I'm just stressed out.
Oh, okay.
I'm not usually like this. Okay, we're gonna go with that plan, DM.
All right.
I'm gonna leave.
So you guys are going to leave. So you all start to make your way down at the altar, stepping back into the water. And as you do, the chanting has a brief lull in it. And before they all shout out, Lorgath the Decayer, we awaken thee!
Oh no.
You absolute dickheads.
Oh no.
I'm going to need you all to roll me initiative.
But he was taking a nap.
That's a skill check, technically. Ability check, correct?
That is a skill check.
So I have disadvantage.
And you technically still have your guidance tomorrow. So if you would like to add it to your initiative check, you can.
I will do that. I still have to roll with disadvantage, though, don't
I? Yes, from the exhaustion.
The map is black for me.
That's because I didn't have Shepard set with light. I'll fix that in a moment. I should really just set his token up so that he's always in light.
Way.
So nice and bright for everybody.
The illusion of choice, guys.
Well, you had a choice. You just made it. All right, so Shepard is an 8. Shepard, you did not click your token on either of the times you rolled initiative.
You know, I'm a smart man. Did I ever tell you that? Sorry.
We got a 24 and a 25. I don't think you need to roll anything. You're going to go first. Frank, I need you to roll initiative one more time because you two are at disadvantage from exhaustion.
Oh, shit. Click, and...
Keep forgetting you guys have exhaustion, so yeah, all these checks should be
Click.
disadvantage. That's fine. All right, so Frank's going to get a 3.
That got worse.
All righty. In that descending order, Shava, you are the one who is up first as the vines raise up and they lurch out of the hole in your direction.
Yeah, so Shava will look around at the others and she'll just kind of shout out, fight or flight.
Fight.
And as you say that, she just kind of looks really disappointed, like she was hoping you weren't going to say that.
Frank's a little disappointed, too.
As she draws her longbow.
I have no issues fighting it from the safety of the other side of the grate.
And Shava likes that plan. She thinks it's a great plan.
Well, yeah, except I have to stay on this side to drop the gate.
Your sacrifice will be honored.
So
Fiverr.
Shava's going to move up the staircase here and fire an arrow.
All right. Keep in mind, wading through this water is difficult terrain. So that is going to be pretty much all of your movement from there. I think you actually, I guess if that's just 20, I'd say you have about 10 feet of movement once you get to the stairs.
Yeah, she's just going to the stairs. She's just trying to get close to the gate.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. That will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. All right. As your arrow sinks down into the warbling mass and vanishes into altogether, there is a noise that comes out. Only the only seeming response that this creature has been affected, just the way its nature is. That is all for you.
Might have made the wrong decision.
Fiverr.
Well, plan run away is still in high effect here.
Just go.
So what I'm gonna do is throw a dart at it, because how far away is it?
It is far enough away that I believe you would be at disadvantage using a dart. You're muted.
Yeah, it's the whole being tabbed out. We're gonna do it anyways.
I will double check just for my own member curiosity. It is 2060, so that will unfortunately be a disadvantage. And an 8, it just kind of flings across the room, and as it hits its mass, you don't hear anything, and your dart just disappears. Becomes one with the creature.
I like that because it's like a panic throw as Fiverr tries to book it towards the grate.
Alrighty. You can get some distance away, but moving through the water is unfortunately very difficult terrain, just to wade back and forth through it. If that is Fiverr, we come to Shepard.
Move 10, 20, 30. Close the grate.
We're going for the escape plan? All right.
And then I throw a arrow at it. And by throw an arrow, I mean shoot a light crossbow at it.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. All right. That too disappears into the depths of the monster without a sound.
Don't try to fight it. You're going to die.
Yeah. We come to the mound's turn. Its entire body seems to roll forward, almost like a giant boulder, before it plunges deeper into the water, with water splashing everywhere. As it does so, the cultists chant out, "The end comes! Death be praised!"
Oh, maybe this is the guy.
As it is going to roll across the entire room.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
And as it raises up here, its mass seems to expand as it is moving its vines and parts around, as it moving out to grapple. But that was everything it had to get there. So we're going to come to Frank's turn.
Frank is going to firebolt.
Okay. You are currently within its reach. You would have to back away to be able to do that with without disadvantage.
Oh.
And that would provoke.
Well. Shiznit. What about... Sorry, I'm kind of fresh on these. I try to have my spell ready when it comes my turn. Oh, that's ranged too. All my shit's ranged. And if I try to run, it'll get an attack of opportunity, correct?
It would. You can also take the disengage action to try and avoid that. But in attempting to do that, you would be giving up your action for that turn.
Right. Quite honestly, I don't think there's anything else I could do. All my shit is ranged, and I don't want to be here. So, yeah, I'm going to disengage and back off about 15 feet.
Okay.
Like, over to here. Can I do that?
Sure. You do kind of run through one of the cultists who seems to not even turn or acknowledge you. Just this apparition floating in the air. But Frank kind of flees off towards the corner. Shava.
Yeah, because he's gotten so close now. Shava's gonna kind of drop her longbow to her side and grab her rapier.
All right.
She will take a swing at him.
Not disadvantage, but that is a hit. As you pierce the rapier through, slicing through one of its vines and cutting a small swath of it away, you hear that again as it seems to respond to you.
That's not good.
All right. It does not seem to shrug off any of that.
Did it look like she did some damage? Hack off a piece or something?
She managed to cut some of it free, which is very impressive considering a rapier is for pointing.
Right.
Is that all for Shava?
Yeah, she's not going to go anywhere. There's nowhere really for her to go.
Okay. Fiverr.
Hang in there, Fiverr.
I'm gonna take the disengage and I'm gonna go hang out with Frank.
Yes. Yes.
Oh no, you're all leaving.
Yeah, you have just enough movement to get up the stairs and stand next to Frank.
Yeah, when you walk through that guy, it gives you chills.
I cannot see where Frank is, so if you want to move me there.
Oh, because it's dark, because you don't have vision. So you just kind of run blindly up the stairs, and I'll say as you get to the end, you kind of bump into Frank because you can't see each other.
I'm in the dark too. I just kind of knew that that's where the corner of the room was.
All right. So Fiverr flees. Shepherd. You are currently the only one standing outside the room. Your light source, you now realize, the only thing that was allowing anyone to see what was going on.
Oh no, I made a mistake. Made several mistakes. Like coming here. Why is the portcullis still open?
Because they ran away from the thing.
The big thing he was going to give me.
I gotta get closer, I guess.
You're very large and in the way.
10, 15.
Well, that would be stepping into Mara's space.
25. So I get to here.
Just 25, yeah.
And then
That would provoke an attack of opportunity from the creature, though.
I am running. Go ahead.
You're disengaging? Oh, you're running. Okay. It will swing at you. It's going to get a 15.
It needs a 16.
It misses. It swings one of its massive veins down on top of you, but you manage to slide forward as it splashes into the water, sending murky water all about the room and the clapping sound kind of echoing across the chambers, blocking out the chanting for a moment before it resumes ominously.
I'm charging more for this. And then I challenge Divinity Path to the Grave on it. Until the next turn,
So the next attack does double. Okay.
Yeah. It gets vulnerability to that damage.
Yep.
Big hitter, hit it.
On its turn, it is going to shamble its way across, and it's going to reach up the sides of the wall and the stairs as those massive vines rise up, and both of them come down to slam onto one on each of you. The first will be on Shava, and that's going to miss horribly as it just kind of curls around the pillar instead of hitting you properly. The other going for Shepherd, which is going to be a natural 20, as it just catches him solid in the chest, dealing 21 points of bludgeoning damage. And you see as it slams into him, the tendril wraps around him and pulls him off and deep into itself.
Oh no.
It's good. I'm at 0.
That is its turn. Frank.
Well, shit, I was going to light this guy on fire. So, Shepherd has been sucked into the mound?
It pulled him into its depths, yes.
All right. I think I'm going to... fire may not be good. I don't want to... let's ice knife. Like, create a shard of ice and fire it off at that guy.
Okay. Make an attack roll. That will hit as the ice knife embeds itself deep within the tissue. Go ahead and roll damage. All right. 3 points of damage before the ice knife shatters into pieces and explodes. Shepherd, I'm going to say, is protected from this because he is totally engulfed within the creature. But Shava, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
As well as the creature. The creature's going to fail on that. Go ahead and roll me that d6, or is it 2d6 of cold damage? Just one of those two.
Yes.
I want to say it's 2d6.
Well, the thing says no cold damage. I thought it did cold damage, but
It does cold damage. That's if the enemy succeeds on their saving throw.
Oh, okay.
On a failure, yeah, roll 2d6. Shava, you kind of duck low and cover your head as the creature absorbs the entirety of the shards of ice as they just kind of spear out and hit everything. At which point it triggers the vulnerability, and you see that the damage from the ice knife itself seems to cut very deep. Unfortunately, creature seems to be somewhat resistant to the cold damage. So even as parts of it freeze over, you see the vines writhe and move easily about, shrugging off any extra damage that would have been caused by auxiliary effects.
All right,
Unfortunately, vulnerable and resistant cancel each other out. It takes normal damage. All right. If that is all for you, Frank.
Yeah,
I should also... we're going to keep on moving forward. But now that Shepherd has been pulled into it, his light source is gone.
Oh, shit.
So nobody can see anymore. Except for Shava.
I was going to ask that. I was like,
Yeah, I just realized that. It's fine for that attack, but we'll say as it's pulled in, Frank, you get that attack roll off just as he's pulled inside, and the light disappears. And it comes to your turn, Shava.
Oh no. So Shava notices it gets dark. She wants to start fire so bad. But she's gonna go ahead and she's gonna take another swing at him.
Just because I'm so nice and I want the stream to be able to enjoy what they're looking, I'm going to leave on some dim vision, but only Shava can currently see. And you're going to do what, Shava?
Oh yeah, she's gonna take another swing at him. Because as much as she wants to start a fire, she doesn't want to sit.
That's it.
Turn off sneak attack. And...
Alrighty. So you stab into it once more for 6 points of damage. Fortunately, not hitting Shepard, who is lost within its depths. Occasionally, you see a foot or a hand just kind of sticking out at an odd angle before more vines and fungus roll around and re-engulf him.
It's not been Shepard's day.
And I'll stay where I'm at. Yeah, I won't go anywhere.
Fiverr.
So first thing first, Fiverr is going to cast light, so they can see. The second thing that Fiverr is going to do is inspire Frank. There is actually a kind of like I'm not sure what the name is for them, but they are pianos that kind of roll on a cylinder, and it kind of like ping, 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 ping as notes are struck. So this kind of contraption is inside of Fiverr's chest. So it rolls, it starts rolling and starts playing a melody.
Okay. I personally have no idea what that is, but I love the description of it. I'm going to look that up later. All right, and you're going to inspire Frank, which means, Frank, you have a D6 inspiration you may use when you make an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. You can use that after you've made the roll, but before I have told you whether or not it's successful or not. So you do have to do it before you know you failed.
Okay.
That is the only restriction to it. All righty then. As we start the Shepard's turn, Shepard, go ahead and hit 2GM and whisper me that death save, please. All right, go ahead and mark that accordingly as we come to the creature's turn. At the start of the creature's turn, I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, Shepard.
Ugh. This makes my belly hurt.
Okay. As you see, the creature kind of contracts, and you hear the sickening noise of what sounds like bones snapping and being crunched, as Shepard inside is subject to this creature's crushing machinations. Shepard, you are going to have to mark a death fail.
Oh, shit.
So we come to Frank's turn.
I don't think those are doing any good. I'm going to use my Chaos Bolt.
Okay. So you still have your D6 of inspiration if you'd like to roll that too.
Yes, I would.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that D6. Unfortunately, even with that bonus, a 13 is not going to hit. As the warbling gray mass kind of sails across the room and just bounces off of it and slams into the water, ice and lightning crackling for a moment before it dissipates. Go ahead and roll me a D100, please.
Oh, no. Hold on, Shepard.
Sorry, no, a D20. A D20, not a D100.
A 20?
Yeah.
Did that roll?
That is very close. Oh, I lost my counter. Where'd it go? Go ahead and roll me a D10,000.
D10,000?
A D10,000, please. $3,729.
It was a big, heavy die. About the size of a kickball.
You roll it, the table collapses.
All right. Nothing seems to happen as far as you know.
Oh, no.
Shava, it's your turn.
Okay.
Yeah, hearing the kind of crunch of bone coming from Shepard, she's going to try one more time to kind of cut this thing down.
Okay. That's another hit. As you cut deep into the creature once more, as you continue to cut swaths of it away, you realize that while you're making decent progress, this creature is what just appears to be a hulking mass. It isn't suffering too much just yet. The creature is not bloody. In technical terms.
Can I see any part of Shepard?
Again, as it moves around, occasionally you see a part of Shepard come out, but if you wanted to try and do something about it, you could potentially just try and reach inside and grab him, but that would be your action to try and do.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll end my turn on that.
So we'll move from Shava back to Fiverr. Fortunately, everybody can see now, but unfortunately, your techniques have only stalled the moment, not successfully defeated it.
So at this point, I'm going to use Fairy Fire, because I think in the dim light, because it's not exactly bright in here, but it should outline it and give everyone advantage, correct?
That is the theory about it, yes. So
All right.
I'll make a dex save. It's going to get a 6, so I don't think that's going to save against it. What color would you like this creature to glow?
Oh, Fiverr's feeling pink today.
Pink it is. It will begin to glow pink as the shambling mound gives off a soft luminescence to it. All right.
With that, my last action will be to inspire Shava.
Okay.
With my final bardic inspiration. So I mean, this is all the stops, guys. The tune that Fiverr's playing in their chest becomes faster and like a little more serious paced, I guess, and that hopefully will be an inspiration for Shava.
Okay. We move on to Shepard again. I need you to do a death save, please, good sir. All right. Go ahead and mark that accordingly. At the start of the creature's turn, I'm going to need you to make another Constitution saving throw. All right. You hear more sickening sounds from within as Shepard, go ahead and mark another death fail on your sheet. Frank, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to use my Tides of Chaos, which gives me an advantage on one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, because I too am running out. So I'm just going to... this is probably going to... Damn it. I'm afraid of killing the fucking Furbolg. All right, I'm panicked, so I'm gonna firebolt.
Okay.
But I'm gonna I was gonna go with advantage on my Tides of Chaos.
Okay, go ahead and roll again, see if you crit.
So, because I already called it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not going to crit, but it's still a good hit. So go ahead and roll damage. But as the firebolt does splay across it, you see that it seems to emit moisture out of the vines as you hit it deeply, and the fire seems to sputter out like it has hit something extremely wet. It looks like this thing has been soaking so long, it doesn't care too much about fire.
Yeah, but I did a whopping 2 points of damage.
It was resistant. You did 1 point of damage.
1 point of damage. Hang in there, Shepard. Fuck.
Yeah, Shava's gonna look again to see if she can kind of see Shepard, and if she does, she's gonna kind of grab for him, try to pull him out.
Okay. I'll say that as one of his fingers kind of slips out, you shove your hand in to try and grab his wrist. Go ahead and make an athletics check, please.
Oh, Jesus.
Get him,
I'm
get
gonna
him.
use my inspiration.
Okay. With a 15, you grab a firm hold on Shepard's wrist and you yank him out of the creature's depths. His body lays on the... You kind of pull him out... Unfortunately, you kind of pull him out into your square, holding him half in the water, half out, as his eyes are closed and his head just lays there cocked to the side, clearly in bad shape.
He's out.
Yeah, that's all I can do. So that'll be my turn.
Okay. Fiverr.
I didn't actually expect Shepard to be brought out. Can I use Cure Wounds on him?
You could if you were standing next to him.
Okay, let's scooch on forward. That will get me there, so Cure Wounds it is.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your Cure Wounds. All right. To your immediate relief, as you just kind of reach out and grab Shepard underneath the water, your light washing into him, his eyes kind of flutter open, breathing deeply as he is still alive against all odds.
Oh, God,
You may take your 5 hit point, Shepard. Your time is not over yet, unfortunately. There is no easy out for you.
Did I erase my failures?
Your successes and failures will go away.
Okay, cool.
That was a close one. All right, Fiverr, anything left for you?
That would be the end of my abilities.
Okay. Shepard, you are currently laying prone, kind of not quite half at Shava's feet and half at Fiverr's feet, half submerged in the water. What would you like to do?
Stand up.
All right, you stand up. That's half your movement.
At 15 feet, so that means I can get 1 square in this.
Pretty much. Well, you can get 2 squares as long as you can move to the next square.
Yeah, I disengage, and I get to here.
All right, so you kind of turn and just scramble through the water as far from this creature as you can possibly get.
I woke up in hell.
And that is Shepard's turn. The mound doesn't seem to be too disappointed by its prey escaping as it raises its body up and continues to slam itself down on willing targets. Again, the first one will be for Shava. Shava, one of those vines slams into your chest, kind of knocking you up against the wall as you were going to take 14 points of bludgeoning damage. The other swings around, trying to hit Fiverr, but it misses wide and just splashes into the water, the sound of that massive cannonball just echoing throughout the chamber for all to hear, as we come to Frank's turn once more.
This goddamn thing. All right, I'm going to go Firebolt again because I'm out of spell slots.
That reminds me, since Fairy Fire's on it, you already have advantage, so you can roll again.
Oh, I'm just, okay.
Which it's going to be a hit, but no crit. Go ahead and roll damage. Right. As the fire disappears into the midst of it, it doesn't do its full damage, but it does do something, which is important, as you continue to slowly whittle this creature down.
I think it's starting to smolder.
That is Frank's turn. We come back to Shava's.
Yeah. At this point, Shava's kind of trying to get out of here too. She's not gonna leave the room though. She's gonna disengage and she's gonna go here, so not out of his range, just kind of around the back.
Okay.
Well, no, actually, I disengaged, so yeah, I will go all the way back.
So you disengage and scamper along the top railing, making some distance from it. Fiverr.
What's a D&D? Got at least one poke of the rapier, so let's Can I attack and then disengage? No, that's
no, you do not have that ability.
okay.
To disengage, you would have to give your action up.
Oh, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I am going to attack.
All right, make an attack roll with advantage. Whoops. No, not again. Okay, sorry, my airplane mode turned on again. I was panically saying, no, don't turn on again. Cancel. Let's not do that. All right, so those will hit as you stab into it for 5 points of piercing damage. I'm just going to move this out of the way for a moment. Give me a second. There we go. As it groans in displeasure, but it is still fighting tough. All right, from there we come to Shepard's turn.
Everything sucks. Kalumbor, smite this creature. And I cast Guiding Bolt at it.
Okay, you have advantage on the attack roll.
Advantage. Bolted. Oh, wait, I have to hit this button. Bolted. No. Crap.
Unfortunately, so yeah, you go ahead and go back to public. Even with advantage, you kind of turn around, fear in your eyes as you fling a guiding bolt across the room, and it just sails through the air and slams into one of the pillars.
I need reloading.
The creature's turn comes up. As it kind of focuses its entire mass on you, Fiver, it rolls around, its tendrils rolling up, almost like it wants to slam you with its entire bulk. It's going to make both of its attack rolls against you. The first one is going to be a hit with a 21, as the entire weight of its body slams down onto you for 19 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Its second attack roll, because it gets 2, is even higher. In fact, it's a natural 20. As the second one rolls over and slams into you for a much lower damage roll, ironically, on the die, but since it's doubled, it's 20 points of damage.
there is a crunching sound as Fiber gets basically pile drived into the water by this thing.
And you see as he gets pile drived, or they get pile drived in, the vines wrap around them and swallow him, much like it did with Shepard.
Oh, God.
I demand to get spat out, though, because it's like, hey, this is good.
Frank.
Firebolt with. Oh yeah, I had advantage there.
Unfortunately, even with the advantage, he's going to fire it across the room, and it bounces off one of his vines and sails into a wall, not managing to make any real impact there. Moving on, we come back to Shava. Actually, I should point out that, you know, it's fine, because it is not currently glowing anymore, because Shava's unconscious. Or sorry, not Shava, Fiver's unconscious.
That's right.
And he's lost concentration. So, unfortunately, as he goes unconscious, things get dark again.
We need to get Fiver out and like just fucking run for it or something. I don't know if we can get that thing over the other side of the room. And then forget the gate. I don't know if it'll fit through that hole.
Shava, it's your go.
Yeah, so does he say that? Are you saying that out loud?
Yeah. We gotta run. This thing's gonna kill every one of us.
Yeah, hearing that. How far is that?
But we gotta pull Fiver out first.
Do we?
We would honor her sacrifice. I believe that's something that we're all about. But
So yeah, Shava would go back to the foot of the stairs where she was, and she would attempt to pull Fiver out as well.
All right, make me an athletics check.
Oh gosh.
All right, you managed to grab a hold of one of Fiver's feet and just kind of give a solid pull, yanking them out of the creature. Almost as you pull them out, you feel like something is regurgitated as Fiver's almost kind of spit out up against the wall and just splashes heavily into the water.
That's awful. Thank you, Shava.
Now we're both trapped here though, because I can move no further.
I believe that's Shava's turn, yes. So Fiver, go ahead and click 2GM and whisper me that death save.
I'm out of stuff.
we are so screwed.
Mark that accordingly. Shepard.
I will tell all of your tales. No. Well, I can see the outline of Fiver, so I'm going to do them a solid and cast Spare the Dying at them.
Okay. You may remove all your successes and failures as you are stabilized. And thankfully, even though Fiver is currently laying unconscious under the water, he doesn't need to breathe, so he is not drowning.
And then I continue my rapid runaway plan of all of these people are slower than me.
I'm gonna have to drag Fiver out.
So Shepard turns and flees off into the room. On the creature's turn, it has regurgitated Fiver, so it is going to turn its attention to the next target, which is Shava.
No.
Its body kind of swings around and it swings one of those vines towards your midsection as you kind of roll backwards, hitting the steps, but it swings over you. A 15, I don't believe, hits your armor class, as the second one swings around and tries to drop down on top of you, but that's only a 12, and it just splashes into the water as you slide to the other side. Just can't seem to find the target where it wants to hit. And that is what it has on its turn. Frank, that's back to you.
I need to cast lights so I can see where I'm going. And then I am going to run for
Suddenly,
it.
everybody has the light spell. I thought this was a thing where nobody had this spell.
I have it in my cantrips.
Okay. You may cast light, and you can now see.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. What's my movement? Let's see.
25.
20. Shit. All right. I don't know.
Close the portcullis.
Yeah.
Save me.
No, I'm not gonna be. We're not gonna have time to close the thing. We just gotta go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. That's as far as I can go, isn't it? And that space is occupied. Is that right? Shit.
And unfortunately, you'd be swimming through the water, so
And,
to get through your allies and the water would be doubly difficult terrain.
I go the long way.
Be able to run the whole way out.
You
But
cast
Yeah, you might
light.
be able to.
Because I
Dash.
cast light to see.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm just gonna shoot it again and hold my position, and hopefully these guys get a chance to run away. And if I have to make it chase me around the room, then I'll try that.
Okay.
So I'm going to. Where'd my sheet go? There it is.
Back to
And
normal rolls for attack rolls because the fairy fire
wait,
is gone.
I can't. I can't cast.
And you actually
two
just cast light,
cantrips.
so your action's done. So all you can do is move.
I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna stay right here.
This is how bad it is. You guys have me being sympathetic. I want to let you do more than you actually can. But
That's
unfortunately,
all
that's
right.
all you got on your turn, Frank. Shava, it comes to you.
Yeah.
So Fiver's stable, but is she conscious?
No, they are not moving.
All right. So yeah, I kind of want to grab Fiver and try to move as far as I can out of the room.
Okay, dragging them through the water is going to be pretty difficult. I would say it would cost you 20 just to get to here with them, but then it would be just normal difficult terrain getting farther. So you could get to here with them using up 30 feet, and that's before dashing or disengaging.
Yeah. So I'm not going to disengage or dash. I'm just going to kind of grab Fiver and.
If you
Can
don't
I still-
disengage, you will provoke.
Yeah. You know what? I will disengage then.
Alright.
And just kind of drag Fiver back to here.
So you're just gonna wrap around each of their legs and pull them through the water, ducking low under attacks. They come swiping at you, pulling Fiver with you. The creature just kind of almost like it realizes its food is running away.
Oh, no.
All right, that is Shava's turn. Fiver, you're stable but unconscious, so we just move right on past you back to Shepherd.
I understand.
Help.
I'm muted. How's it going? I'm so sorry.
Help.
Can I still see into the room from where I am?
It's got a kind of a narrow angle, but since the creature is so large, you can still see parts of it.
Okay. I will. This is an action. Okay, that's an action. What is it to pull something out of my backpack?
Interact with objects.
So that's an action.
It would be part of your interact with. It would be part of your free action every turn.
Oh, okay. So I can just pull out a potion and hold it without it costing anything? Cool. I pull out a potion and hold it. And then with my free hand, I cast Toll the Dead at that thing.
Okay. Wisdom save for it. It is going to get a 16.
It will make it.
It does not seem this creature cares too much about the mortal difficulties of other such. As we come back to its turn,
Oh no.
it has a decision to make about who it wants to swallow and eat and all those delicious things it wants to do. As it looks up that pathway, it is going to roll. It's going to roll over this way. As Frank, you see it kind of lurch through the water and then rise up from the ledge, the vines and such creeping along to reach to you. And as you do, two of them kind of slip out, trying to grab at your ankles. The first one is going to be a 14 to hit.
That hits.
That's going to be 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Jesus.
That's all of my points.
And so all of you in the other room just hear a scream of Frank before it just very muffled and disappears.
That's so typical of Frank. God damn it.
Frank, at the start of your turn, go ahead and click 2GM and make me a death save. Double digits and higher are a success, so mark that accordingly. Shava.
Gosh.
You don't know what happened because you can't see it, but from the sound of it, it sounds like the creature just swallowed Frank.
And hearing this, I'll just kind of like look down at freaking Fiverr, who's like unconscious below me. I'll look back at Shepard and I'll just kind of motion to Shepard to like keep an eye on Fiverr as I drop Fiverr and step back into the room.
Right. You can drop him into the 3 foot of water. He's completely submerged. If it was anyone else, you'd think that'd be causing serious issues, but fortunately, you don't think too much about it. As you just step back in the room, and you can see the ends of Frank's hands just kind of being dragged off the platform into the creature's bulk.
I guess now's your chance to get rid of Frank.
Oh no.
Nobody. We've only been around for like a couple of hours, but we love you already.
Can I grab him from this square, or would I have to go up to that second square?
You're next to him. You could probably try to reach in and try and grab him.
Yeah, so she'd move just close enough to try to grab him, and that's what she'll do with her action.
Okay, make an athletics check.
I feel like this is the one that I failed.
Evidently not. I believe you're supposed to be at disadvantage on these, aren't you? Because this is an ability check, and you're exhausted.
Yeah, and I'm tired still, and he's no longer lit. So they are disadvantaged, so I will roll.
Too many disadvantages and advantages to keep track of. We should just go straight rolls.
Yeah, that would be nice for you guys, wouldn't it? It'd be very serious to me. With a 12,
sorry, Frank.
You do manage to grab him. As he is light, the creature does not have a great hold on him. As you kind of grab onto his hands and you start to pull, as this creature is basically in a tug of war with you right now, half between you and half between its mass, as it's holding onto the end of his ankles, and you just see his head kind of bobbing up and down. He's currently unconscious.
Oh no. And yeah, my turn with us fighting over Frank.
Fiverr's unconscious, so we come straight back to Shepard.
Okay, Fiverr, time to return the favor that you returned to me. I start moving down. Oh, that's weird. This Roll20 account is not updated. That's weird. Okay. I know she's in the square in front of me. For some reason, it's not showing up on my screen. And I will, like, pull her head out of the water and just jam this potion as far down her throat as I can.
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2?
Mm-hmm.
I hope she doesn't have a gag reflex as a robot. Wow, I did that into the Twitch chat. I'm so stressed out, guys.
That's not where you roll that.
Heal 7.
Love it. Oh, I get 7?
5.
No,
Oh, 5. Oh.
You're currently in the middle of a tug of war with a shambling mound.
I forgot.
By the end of this, you might be a little taller.
Hey, I gained an inch.
So that is Shepard's turn as he feeds Fiverr a potion. Are you going to move at all, or is that what you're calling it?
I'm gonna move back out.
You continue to move back out. On the mound's turn, it is currently fighting with Shava as it does not want to give up its meal so easily. So Shava, I would like for you to make me another athletics check as it is trying to pull Frank back into its depths.
Oh, no.
I think it's going to beat you on this one.
Oh, I just realized I got my wild magic things.
Oh god.
Unfortunately, you run into a moment where like either you let go or it pulls you both in, and it just kind of slips out of your fingers into the wetness of the room, and you see Frank get swallowed back inside to the depths of the creature. Speaking of, we come to Frank's turn. Frank, I need a death save. Mark it accordingly as we come back to Shava's turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab Frank again.
Okay.
Athletics. Let's see.
All right. Unfortunately, as your hands plunge into the depths, apparently Frank's been moved around. As you reach around inside the vines, you just can't seem to find a part of him to grab onto at this point.
And I will end my turn there. I'm not going to go anywhere.
Fiverr.
Tired of the fact that we keep losing our light sources and really desiring some fire. Fiverr is going to light a torch upon coming to, just kind of like.
Well, you're still glowing with light.
Huh?
You're still glowing with light.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it got turned off because I got pulled in its concentration.
No, the reason it got turned off is because when you were fully within the creature, all light was blocked. You were completely engulfed. It swallowed you.
I still really like the idea of burning it with a torch, and Fiverr just like, I'm going to burn this thing.
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt because every time you've seen Frank throw fire at it, it seems to struck it off.
Yeah. I got that.
You're gonna do it anyways? Okay.
Yeah.
So you spend your action lighting a soggy torch, which is kind of complicated in its own right, but you managed to strike a torch. You now have an extra light source.
Sweet. Can I throw it?
You can throw it on your next turn.
Okay.
Okay. Shepard.
Muted.
Mm-hmm.
I need to freaking remember that. Okay, I didn't expect that it would get back to me, honestly. My R20 client's still acting up. I'm just gonna 5, 10, 20. Oh, you're way too far away. And then go back in.
So to get to there will be all of your movement.
So you know what? I'm just gonna get to as close as I can, which would be right here. Be like, come closer and I'll guide into you. I'm sorry.
Well, this is where I die. So
On the creature's turn, Frank, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution.
Driver, if me and you just run that direction, I think we can get away.
You all hear that same sickening crunching noise as Frank, you are going to take a death fail.
No.
And as we start your turn, I'm going to need you to make me another death save, please. All right, go ahead and mark that as we come back to Shava.
yeah, Shava's gonna try one last time to grab a hold of Frank.
Make your athletics.
Let's see.
All right. Unfortunately, as you kind of reach in, the vines are batting you away. almost protective over over Frank at this instance, as it seems to be swallowing him deeply.
He
Flee,
said I've
you
taken enough of
fools.
its meals.
Frank.
The good roll's got to give up sometime, I'm afraid.
He said I couldn't have any more of his food. Yeah, I'll end my turn there.
You mean Shava can't save us every time?
Fiver.
Where's the inspiration, DM?
Oh no.
Feverishly, Fiver is lighting this thing and says, like, it doesn't attack while it's eating. It's going to eat this. And Fiver will try to huck the torch into the shambling monster.
Make me a straight dexterity check.
Was a save? Want me to do the other one?
I think you're proficient, so I think we just subtract 2. With a 14, you just kind of toss the torch over at the creature, and you just see it fly down, hit its mass, and it does kind of sink down inside, and you all just hear a as the torch is extinguished. There are small burn marks where it seems to have done some damage. It's hard to say how much.
Just kind of a slump of Fiver's shoulders. At this point, Fiver wants to get Frank out. So, rope is an. Taking rope out of the bag, I guess. That's my finish.
So now Fiver's like, okay, next desperate plan. And he starts trying to retrieve rope. Shepherd.
Fiver, everyone retreats. We're not a military organization. We can leave a man behind. 3 of us is better than all of us dead. And I begin to back away. Again, this time waiting for my compatriots and probably not going to be making it very clear that this is the last time he's entering that room.
Okay. At the start of his turn, Frank, I need a con save. All right. Yet another crunching noise as Frank, go ahead and mark another death fail. As we come to Frank's turn, go ahead and roll me one. Okay. Shava.
Jesus. Can Shava see Frank anymore? At all?
He seems to be small enough that the creature can fully engulf him without any issues of parts of him sticking out. Up until now, you've been desperately reaching inside where little pinpoints of light from Frank's previous spell have poked out, but other than that...
Yeah, she's gonna go ahead and she's gonna attack it this time.
Okay. All right. You kind of swing wide, the rapier kind of sliding to a thick of mass, but not hitting anything tangible as you pull out, and the creature doesn't seem to even be paying much attention to you at this point.
Yes, and that's... I want to move, but there's nowhere to go, so I'll stay here.
All right. As you end your turn, you hear that whispering again. And you can feel from the pendant just the slightest warmth as it says, "You're going to die here. You need to live. You need to run."
Thank you. I get that.
Fiver.
Okay, tossing a rope to Shava, is that a full action?
Tossing the entire rope would be...
Like the end of it.
Tossing the end of it? Yeah, I would say tossing the end of the rope would be an action, unfortunately.
Okay. Sure, let's do that.
Okay. So you kind of sling the end of the rope, holding onto one end, so it uncoils and rolls out near Shava's feet.
Okay. Shava, get the rope. That's for you, you big green idiot. Spit my friend out. And I'm gonna use vicious mockery. I don't know if it's gonna work, but yay, vicious mockery.
Okay. He gets a natural 20. Which I believe you used your action already, so you wouldn't even have got that, but that's fine. So that's Fiver's turn as he is spooling rope. Shepard, they seem desperate to stay and fight, or at least try and rescue Frank.
A vicious mockery is a action.
No, it's not. It's an action.
Hey, you're all idiots. Okay.
You are right.
5, 10. I'm going to grab Fiver. And
Okay. Make an athletics check.
This is not our fight. Frank died in glorious combat, and that is the way of nature.
Okay. If you're resisting this Fiver, then I would like for you to either make me an acrobatics or athletics. The choice is yours.
I got a 13 because I'm at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not resisting because my intention is to pull everyone out. Does Shava have the other end of the rope, or?
She has not grabbed it yet, but it's there for her to grab on her turn.
Okay, so as long as she has access to the rope, that would be fine.
Okay. So you grab, and you are going to start pulling Fiver back.
Yeah. As difficult, I guess.
Yes.
Cool.
So you can get back to there, dragging Fiver with you. And the 50-foot of rope is more than enough so it doesn't, leave Shava behind. Alrighty. On the creature's turn, you all hear as its vines begin to spread out once more. And with those last sickening crunches, you see they're worming their way towards you, Shava.
No.
It's not doing anything just yet, but it seems to be drawing its eyes on you. Frank, I'm afraid we're just going to skip your turn as we come to Shava.
Seeing everyone kind of leaving and not having heard anything from Frank, plus the lockets giving great advice again. She's gonna look at the rope. She's not gonna grab it. She will disengage, however, and head back out.
So you just see Shava running back up the hallway with no rope in hand.
Just, Frank, no!
Snap out of it, you bag of bolts. We gotta get out of here.
All right. As Shava comes back up the hallway, you all can hear that sounds of echoing from the chamber beyond. Once you step up out of the water, the acoustics, the sounds of what sounds like a creature just rolling over something far smaller over and over again.
Now it's just taunting us.
Poor Frank.
May Kellamvor see him to the proper resting place.
All right. Is there anything else you guys are going to do other than just try and get the hell out of here?
Booking it.
Absolutely not.
So, as you all start to book it, you all kind of turn and start to make your way towards the hallway. And as you were fleeing back, Shava, you look back and you hear, as you see the vines are slamming themselves up against the wall where the portcullis bars drop, and it's slowly squeezing itself through the passage, determined to come after you. At this point, this fight is going to evolve into a chase. So how that works is you all will be able to declare your actions much as you would in a normal combat initiative, but not all things work the exact same way. Every turn, you are going to make a Constitution check, and I'm going to keep track of your progress manually via this nice little notepad I have, if I can find my pen. There it is, right there. Your goal is to hit a certain number. When you succeed in hitting that number, you escape. But the creature is going to be trying to kill you all the while. So, Shava, starting your turn, I would like for you to please make me, what are you going to be doing on your turn? Obviously, you're fleeing, so you don't have to declare that. You're always trying to run away. But what action are you taking?
I'm going to head for that staircase that we saw earlier, just because I feel like it's the closest turn.
Well, I understand you're trying to flee. That's easy enough. I'm just asking what action you're actually taking in the chase. Are you trying to attack it to slow it down? Are you just dashing to get away? What?
Oh, yeah. No, she's just dashing. She's just running. She's tried attacking it.
So the 3 actions I'll give you that you can kind of keep in mind of is you can obviously cast spells. You can obviously make attacks against it. But you can also try to just keep pace, which is basically gives you advantage on your check to run. Then there's also dash, which... same check, but you can move twice as far as you normally would. And then we also have just, you can also take things like dodge, so on and so forth, to try and avoid any auxiliary effects that may come. All right, so go ahead and make me a Constitution check, please. Keep in mind, you are at disadvantage for all these because you are currently exhausted.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
Oh, no.
So you immediately turn to run, and you go stumbling straight face first into one of the pillars and kind of slump down to the floor, not making any real progress that turn. Fiverr.
All right, so just a Constitution for me?
Yep. And what action are you taking?
I still have my rope. Can I hook Shava and go?
Your goal trying to be that you're going to pull her along with you? You don't think that'd be very successful.
Okay.
Maybe if it was Frank.
Shoot. Okay, well, I still have rope with me, and rope is still behind, so she can grab it if she wants. I'm gonna take the dodge action and start booking it.
Make me a con check. You were the only one not at disadvantage, but unfortunately that is not a success, so you're having difficulties moving. Shepard.
10 is not?
You're at disadvantage, not advantage.
Why would I be at...
Or sorry, you're at not a disadvantage or advantage. You're a straight roll, and a straight roll is still a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're the one person who succeeded on your check earlier.
Is there any way that I can create an obstacle for this mound?
Well, there's lots of stuff here that you could throw in the way. If you wanted to try and knock down one of the beams so that it would try and cover the passageway, you could try and do that.
I would absolutely love to attempt.
Okay. How are you going to do that? Are you going to attack it? Just try and shove it over?
Yeah, I don't imagine there's a Rube Goldberg machine in here that I could activate with a small amount of effort to knock over the pillar. Anyway.
No, you think if you wanted to knock it over, it's going to take some solid shoulder work.
Okay. I run like the best linebacker I can directly into the pillar to try to knock it over.
Go ahead and make me an athletics check. All right, so you kind of shoulder check it, and it just doesn't go anywhere. You kind of shoulder again, and you realize this is far sturdier than your shoulder can manage right now.
My collarbone.
Go ahead and make me a con check. You realize that's not working. You realize maybe I should just start running. As unfortunately, you kind of trip and fall over yourself as well. And you guys are making no progress here. At the start of the creature's turn, it continues to shamble off after all of you. It is making some progress. And at the start of its turn, it starts to slam into the walls, and portions of the ceiling start to fall down. I need all of you to make dex saves, and I need the 2 of you who failed your checks with natural ones to make those dex saves with disadvantage. The dice are... Oh my god, the dogs are killing you guys right now. What is this nonsense? Shepard, you're going to succeed. Shava, unfortunately, you're not, as these rocks come falling upon your head. Fiverr, you're fine. You managed to dodge them entirely. Shava, you're going to take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as parts of the ceilings fall down and clobber you.
Well, I'm unconscious.
As you leer back, you just see Shava fall face first to the ground.
I'm out of healing magic. Stop dying. All of you.
Okay. Shava, unfortunately, all you can do on your turn is whisper me a death save.
This is
All right, mark that accordingly. Fiver. As you look back, trying to make your way to the stairs, you see that Shava is fallen unconscious from the falling debris.
Should have grabbed the rope.
My only plan at this point is to try and lure it back through the staircase to where the pit was and try to get it to go into the pit of spikes.
So the issue with that is the creature is currently squeezed in the hallway. You'd have to move through it to get in there, and there's no way to do that.
Okay.
At this point, it's kind of past the bars as well, so you'd have to find another way in.
Grabbing Shava's not an option.
Well, carrying her would pose some pretty significant difficulties, but I mean, if you wanted to try and carry her out of here, tying her up with rope wouldn't be so accomplished because she was still conscious, but just picking her up would be a lot easier.
Okay.
She's not struggling against you.
Let's do that and try running again.
Okay. You kind of slide back, pick Shava up over your shoulder, and you turn to run again. Go ahead and make me a constitution check. Okay, so you kind of stumble, picking Shava up, weakly making your way forward. Good God, guys, I can't make up for all these bad. At some point, it's not my fault. Shepard,
do your worst, DM. Do your worst.
You see Shava's unconscious, okay. Fiver's carrying her.
She's not dead yet, right? Okay, spare the dying on her.
Okay, that's a bonus action. What are you going to do with your action?
And then I take another ram at this pillar.
Make me another athletics check. All right. Again, the shoulder hits the pillar, and it just kind of... Some of the debris kind of falls down on your head, and you start to wonder, was you hitting the pillar the reason things caved in on you? Maybe that wasn't the smartest idea.
I run.
All right, make me a constitution check.
God.
All right, you finally managed to start making some decent progress as you all are now making your way up the stairs, trying to flee from the creature as it slides around the pillars, moving its way after you to the best of its abilities. On its turn, it kind of smashes through pillars with ease, its body far larger and far more powerful than most of you can manage. And as it does so, I need all of you to please make me another dexterity saving throw as more parts of the ceiling start to fall down on top of you.
I've got disadvantage, I'm assuming.
You're unconscious, so at this point, I'm just saying Zoe's responsible for you.
Oh no.
Rolled a 1.
Shit.
How did I lose my d6? Alright, let's roll it here.
I'm leaving all of you to die.
Roll a d8.
My third session, it's fine.
Shepard, you are going to manage to avoid any further damage. Fiver, you're going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you get pelted by a rock. And you kind of stumble forward, unfortunately.
Still alive!
Don't even think about it, Fiver.
Okay. Shava, you are stable, so for now, we're just going to pass by your turn. Fiver, it comes to your turn again. You are currently carrying Shava. You could take dash if you wanted to try and gain ground from the creature. You could try and just keep pace if you wanted to make sure you weren't losing ground. Keeping pace gives you advantage on your con checks.
The plan is to dash and get as far away with Shava as I can.
Make me a constitution check.
This is not possible! This
I
I've rolled.
I think roll 20 wants you to die, guys. I'm impartial in this matter. Unfortunately, that's not good enough. Shepard, comes to your turn. You see Fiver's lagging behind, and the creature is trying its best to keep up.
Okay. Do I have any oil? No, I don't. Crap. What the hell's an alms box? That's weird. Cool. I am going to throw a net at it and try to tangle it up.
Okay. Make me a dexterity check. I believe you're proficient with nets.
As a sailor, I guess I am.
Sorry, no, nets are actually a weapon, and they're martial weapons, which you would not have. So just make me a straight dexterity check, please.
Sure.
I was going to say, technically this would be a disadvantage because nets are always a disadvantage. But so you kind of throw it down and it just kind of hits the creature. And as you're like, yes, it's going to, and then it just kind of gets swallowed as tendrils slide through it. And you realize the nature of this creature doesn't seem too bothered by nets.
I run.
On check. Disadvantage.
What we should have done from the very beginning.
At disadvantage, you said?
Still at disadvantage because of exhaustion.
I thought it was just ability checks.
This is an ability check. It's a con check.
Constitution.
Alrighty, that's a success. As you start to make your way away.
Obviously, Kalimvor wants me to live.
As you start to leave your allies behind, once we get to the creature's turn, Fiver, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, as unfortunately Shepard has made some decent ground and is currently getting farther and faster away than you are.
Oh no.
All right, that is a success as you kind of duck and weave back and forth, running up the staircase, avoiding the small chunks of the building, almost like the building itself is falling down on top of you. But that is its turn. Hold on, nope. Let's see if we can get these to make its check, which it does fine. Shava, we skip your turn. We come back to Fiver. Another con check for me.
Still plan run.
All right. If you're just dashing, go ahead and make me your con check. All right. That is a success. As you manage to make it 30, since you're currently carrying 1 and your speed will be doubled, trying your best to keep ahead of the creature, which is just constantly behind you, constantly nipping at your heels. Shepard.
Crap. There's no way that I can, like, encourage, I call it. Fiver.
If you would like to take the help action, you could, and that would give them advantage on their check.
Fiver. Left foot in front of the other. Keep going. I take the help action to start, like, drill sergeanting her, or
okay.
him, or whatever the heck Fiver is, being that mechanical mass. And then I run.
Con check with disadvantage. Making good progress thus far.
Yeah.
When you keep rolling really good, you're going to keep doing that.
Kalimvor says I live.
As you continue to flee throughout the dungeon. As you are running by, you glimpse down a hallway, and you see as what appears to be an undead creature kind of shoves its head around the corner like it's confused about something. And as it looks at you, its eyes just narrow, its hands raise up, and it seems to join in the chase behind you.
Damn you. Kalimvor, you allowed me to escape only to give me more duties.
At the start of its turn, I'm going to need, again, just Fiver to make me a dex save. As his tentacles reach up and are slapping down each side of the hallway, as you kind of, again, dodge back and forth, avoiding these grasping blows, as it is trying everything in its power to keep pace, which it is doing fairly well.
It just took me a couple of moments to figure out how to carry Shava. That's all it was.
It's some adjusting.
Fiver.
I'm trying to catch up to Shepard, so just booting it again as fast as I can.
You have been helped, so you can make it with advantage, which you succeed. So you will make it decent distance. At this point, it seems like the creature is still nipping on both you and Shepard's toes. Hold on, I don't think I mixed. Hold on. Oh, I need to mark this. There we go. That's right. Shepherd, about 10 to 15 feet ahead of you, and the creature right on your heels. All right, we come back around to your Shepherd. You realize that it seems like everything you didn't deal with now is coming aware and trying to stop you from escaping the house.
Well, that just means I need to be faster. And possibly I need to trip Fiver. No, that's a bad idea. That's evil. Why am I saying that? And you know what? I still have too much goodness in my heart to let Fiver just die like this. So I'm going to turn around and take a shot at the thing that's the closest to her. Or him.
Okay.
Them.
All right, that's not a disadvantage. So your arrow just kind of flies through the air, embedding itself in this zombie's chest that was about to leer out ahead of her, but behind you, as it kind of just looks down stupidly at the bolt that it doesn't quite realize why there's something in its chest that wasn't there before, nor does it seem to be feeling any of the pain that would correspond with something like this being lodged inside your chest cavity. But it's what you do. Now go ahead and make me your con check.
And I run.
And you run. All right, that is a success. At this point, you slide around the corner through what appears to be a shorter cut. As you turn, you see there's a table. You look left, you see the hallway that leads up to the stairs. You've been here before. As you rush over there, you turn, and you can see that if the stairs are here, that just means all it takes is one flight up, and you can be getting back up to the attic. Hopefully, the creature can't follow in that strange passageway.
See, Fiver, I told you you'd hear my footsteps up the staircase if anything went wrong.
At which point, the creature makes no progress once, and I need Fiver to make an X save. All right, unfortunately, that is a failure. As you run up the stairs, one of the vines slides around, hits your ankle, and begins to trip you up, as you are going to have disadvantage on your next Constitution check, as it is trying to slow you down. We come to your turn.
This zombie is in my way?
There appears to be what looks like a ghoul or something to that effect, kind of sliding into the hallway, almost like it was aware of Shepherd and was moving to get in his way, but it doesn't seem to be quite aware of you yet, because it's looking down at his chest with a crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
I would like to just kind of like move around it. Is it possible just kind of like be stealthy-ish?
You can just slide around it and not hopefully draw its attention.
At disadvantage, right?
So what?
Constitution at disadvantage?
Yes.
Please don't fail.
Double 20s, that's good. As with that, you finally make enough progress that you are breaking away from the creature desperately and well. Shepherd, you are pounding up the stairs, making good progress, and you can hear Fiver hitting the bottom of the steps behind you as the calls of the creature call out from the bottom as it's forcing itself down those narrow hallways that had the catacombs there.
I'll pray for you. Is it actually my turn now?
Yes.
Okay. I double run because I can't see anything.
Okay. So make me a con check.
Disadvantage.
No, if you wanted to go to your disadvantage, you do. It's keeping pace is what I call it.
Okay.
So just make your check stand normally. All right, that'll succeed. As you manage to breach through the top of the stairs, and you're once more back in the storage room. But as you get up there, you realize immediately something's wrong. As you emerge up to the landing and you're looking out, you see the door is open, but there is black smoke filling the room ahead of you. And you can't see a damn thing. You know the door is somewhere off to your left. But as you look around, the smoke in this room, it is very thick. You can't see an inch in front of your face.
Well, I guess I die too.
And as you kind of look at it, you hear coming from the doorway.
Kalimvor, is this a test? Okay. Well, test my bravery. I run.
All right, you keep running. We come to the creature's turn. Fortunately, no one's in range, so it's going to use its action to do something else. It is going to try to catch up, which it is going to do decently well enough.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
But right now, it is slamming itself to the bottom of the stairs and rolling its way up. This is very difficult for it, as it is not made to move in this tile away. As we come back to your turn, Fiverr, you can see tentacles crawling as it's trying to pull itself up the stairs. Not a very efficient way to climb.
Fiverr's just like, I hate this thing so much, and just keeps running.
All right, make me a con check, please. Ooh. So you kind of stumble on the staircase. For that moment, you drop Shava to the ground. You have to take the time to sit down and try and pick her back up and slink her back over your shoulder. And you can hear all the while this creature is just slowly gaining on you.
Does Roll20 hate me?
I don't know. Shepherd.
It hates us all.
No, it loves me. I don't know.
It's your guys' part, huh?
So, Shepherd, as you kind of brave your way through this room, I would like for you to make me an acrobatics check, please.
Hell yeah. Shepherd got the jukes. You gonna do a spinorama over here?
All right. As you attempt to move through, you hear shh, 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 shh. And as you push through the doorway, you feel what feels like scything blades cut across you. As you are going to take 16 points of slashing damage.
Goodbye.
All right. Shepherd falls. The mound continues to chase.
Who knew my cowardice would bite me?
The mound seems to be stuck on the stairs for the moment, but it can try to reach up and trip you up, Fiverr. So I'm going to need you to make me a acrobatics or athletics check at your discretion, as it is trying to grab you to prevent you from making any progress. But you succeed with no issue, as you just kind of fling Shava back on your shoulder and just kind of scramble up the stairs to the best of your ability as we come back to your turn.
Still running. I'm trying to catch up with Shepherd. I don't know that Shepherd is down, so I got my Shava.
Make me a con check.
Just going.
One shoulder-mounted Shava.
Okay. Assuming you're still dashing.
Yeah, I'm carrying both your asses up.
Yeah, as you get it to the top of the stairs, you immediately see smoke in your way, and you think, this isn't a problem for me. I don't need to breathe. So you just kind of rush around, making your way towards the doorway. And as you curl around, you hear that shh, 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 shh. You stop for a second and think, what the hell is... And then I need you to make me an acrobatics check. All right, you nimbly hop through, and as you do, you realize, what the hell is that? You look back, and you see the door that was on the storage room has been replaced by guillotines that are swiping back and forth across them. And as you're out in the open area and you can see again, you see all the room's doors have been replaced by this. Almost like the house itself is trying to keep you from leaving. And you see Shepherd laying unconscious on the floor, and you see that he has a very nasty gash on his leg. Looking closely at it, you think if it was any more severe, he would have lost it.
Dragging them both in the direction of the exit.
You're not sure you could drag them both.
Oh my god.
Chavo alone is pushing your limits of carrying, and Shepherd is very big and heavy.
I have no way of healing them. Were we all given potions?
Yep.
All of you were given one. If you want to take the... Well, actually, that would be the end of your turn because you've dashed and done it, so we'll circle back around. Shepherd, go ahead and whisper me your death save. I always say death fail on that. I try not to because I don't want to impose I want you to fail. Just have it because I see it all the damn time.
I know how it is.
All right. The creature is still struggling to get up these stairs, as these stairs are death for it. It doesn't. You can hear it welching from farther down. Fortunately, it hasn't seemed to gain any ground on you just yet. But as we come back to your turn, you can use your action to quickly search through your companion's things and try and feed them any potions you may find.
Okay, I know I have a potion on me. That hasn't been used yet. So
Okay.
I'm going to use mine on Shava.
Okay.
As soon as Shava is roused, I'm going to quickly go potion in his mouth, and he's going to point at Shepherd.
2d4 plus 2.
Don't put it in Twitch chat like I did. Jesus Christ.
I will take it.
Even the potions. I can't do this to you guys. I can't personally be this mean to you guys.
That was a fake potion. I don't believe it. You scammed.
That was the potion they saved for Warforged.
Decided 1 part potion, 4 parts water. What's the worst that could happen? We need to cut costs somehow. But Java, you recover 4 hit points, and you kind of open your eyes, realizing you're currently in the attic, but from the sounds of everything, it is not okay.
So you're not allowed to roll any more dice. I'm rolling everything for you.
You know, that's fine.
All right, I get my 4 back.
That would be
Is it
5 or con check. Are you trying to pick up Shepard at this point? Because Shepard is pretty damn heavy. I'm not sure if you could even carry him.
I don't think I can, but Fiverr did bark your potion his mouth thing.
All right.
I gave my potion to you earlier.
Really? Okay, so we have no more potions.
All right. Well, at the moment, the creature seems stuck, but you all can sit here as you do. Shepard, unfortunately, you're still unconscious, so I need another death save.
Yep. There you go.
Marked accordingly. The creature that is stuck down the stairs, you hear it start to creep its way a little farther up. It has gained a little ground and still chasing after you all. Shava, you kind of pick yourself up, stand up. You're alive, but what are you going to do? Both of you together, you could probably carry Shepard. It would be
I was going to say,
awkward,
can
but
we
you
both
can do
grab
it.
him?
I'm more trying to think of how we get back by the scythes. I was thinking of using something to jam them up, but
Yeah, you can use Shepard's body.
That was legit a thought, to just throw his body into stuff and just keep it with him.
I appreciate that my actions have consequences.
Yeah, I'll look at Fiverr to see if we can kind of grab him.
Okay.
Work makes the dream work.
So one of you kind of grabs him underneath the waist with his legs wrapped around your ankles, and the other just kind of holds him underneath the arms behind you, almost like you're moving a weird couch. And you both try to move in unison. So for this, I'm going to say that Fiverr, you're going to have to give up all your turns using the help action to carry Tamara. And Tamara, you can make your con checks, and you will basically act as a unified unit, just trying to carry him out of here. Fortunately, since you're both working to do it, it's not slowing you down too much. It's just a little awkward.
That's good. Absolve me of my roles.
Still with disadvantage, though?
Actually, you can just make a con check at a straight roll.
Okay. It doesn't help, but
The public, but unfortunately, you make no progress as you're like squeezing to get him across the room. He is heavy. Fiverr, you're just giving him the help action, or you're just giving her the help action. My apologies. And with that, go ahead and make me your con check to see if you can at least help this along. Your con checks are basically just helping Tamara at this point. All right, now you're rolling good. Isn't that hilarious?
There has to be something wrong with the algorithm, because I've rolled more ones and more 19s today.
According to Roll20, they use the decay of they use the entropy of light calculations in order to determine their die roll. So whenever I see lots of ones, I'm like, so obviously something in the universe is just wrong. It's Fiverr's turn. You're helping well. Shepard, you are still unconscious and have not been stabilized, so I need you to make another death save.
More blood just begins to squirt out of my leg and onto Shava's clothing.
he can't stop to save you. We're sorry.
Boy.
Mark that accordingly.
I know.
I'm doing great, guys.
Use my disguise kit as a tourniquet for you. That's how that works, yes.
The creature breaches the room, and you can see its vines coming through the walls. As it does, the blades just momentarily stop as if to allow it passage through.
Are you kidding?
The house does not want to stop the creature.
Hacks.
Shava.
Yeah, I'm just running.
All right, go ahead and make me a con check. Alrighty. That is progress. As you all start to carry Shepard through another doorway, I'm going to need you both to make me acrobatics checks. You need to go public, Shava. That is going to be a success for Shava. Unfortunately, that's going to be a failure for Fiverr, as he gets caught up from the end of the blades, and he is going to take a whole bunch of damage. 17 in total, but I don't think it matters how much. Just Fiverr just gets caught up, and one of his arms just kind of gets separated off, and he falls unconscious to the ground.
My last shiny hit point.
As Shava, you were letting here, Shepard's unconscious, Fiverr is unconscious. One of his arms has been removed from its socket and is sitting on the other side of the doorway, and you can hear as the creature is still coming.
Oh God. Oh God. Yeah, unfortunately, Shava's just gonna run. She can't do this anymore. She's just gonna run.
Are you dropping me?
Yeah, because I can't carry you.
So you drop Shepard, you turn, and you start to flee down the stairs, bounding down the staircase, sliding out through the secret door. As you look down, you can see there's smoke piling from the very bottom of the stairs. The creature all the while crawling and crawling after you. As you make your way down to the bottom floor, you see here that the smoke that is billowing out of there's smoke here as well. Clearly every smokestack, every chimney, every fireplace in here is thick with it for some reason, and you hear that happening from all over down here as well. As you look up, you can see the shambling mound reaching over the banister, and as it does so, its bolt starts to move, and it just crushes through the banister, falling 3 stories and slamming into the floor next to you. Go ahead and make me your con check.
Well, that's unfair.
All right, so for a second, you just kind of stumble backwards into the smoke. And as you do, it starts to cough. It getting into your lungs, it's seeping through you. As you turn, making your way, trying your best to get to the doorway, I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. All right, you managed to shrug off the poison of the smoke. That is good. And now I need you to make me an acrobatics check.
Roger, please.
All right. As you nimbly slide back through the final set of guillotine doors, you run out and you see the front of the house. The door just kind of opens up to allow you exit. And almost as if the door opening is a signal, the fog seems to part like a wind is blowing it away. You make your way out into the night of the village. Everything is quiet. And as you stand there looking back at the house, the door's just going to...
Oh, no.
The portico that is set in the front, that was pushed open, just kind of creaks, closes, and you see the lock just kind of move of itself and seal itself.
Shop's going to look back at the house as it kind of seals. She's going to look really sad because, you know, all our friends are inside the house now. She's going to stand there for a minute, kind of trying to figure out her next move.
You stand there looking at the house. To look at it from this angle, you wouldn't know anything has gone on inside. There's no calling of the creature. The curtains are drawn. There's no sign of smoke or anything else. The rain slowly starts to pour down on top of you. And as you listen to it, you hear that soft whispering again. The voice from that pendant that says, "You had to live for us. You don't just have you inside anymore."
Yeah, she's just going to kind of look down at the bag. She's not going to open it, but she'll definitely look at it.
You made the right decision.
Yeah, she's just kind of out here. She'll look around the street, actually, to see if there's anyone else.
Make a perception check.
Perception.
Couple of fucking ghost kids.
Oh, I freaking hope so.
As you kind of look up and down the street, they seem bare. No one's out. The rain's pouring down. It's dark. It's almost must be nighttime by now, easily. You look around. It's hard to make out anything, but fortunately with your dark vision, you can make out things without a light source. As you kind of stumble down a side street, you look out and you see that in the main square, there is a glint of light shining out into the main thoroughfare. Kind of stumbling your way down that street, you see that there is a tavern here. The door open, the glimpse of light shining out and allowing you to see inside, and that the sign illuminated by this light is the Blood of the Vine Tavern.
She will kind of stumble inside.
All right. As you stumble inside, the camera pans away as Shava is the only surviving member who make their way out of the hell house that you all were unfortunately tricked into. It moves up the cliffside, up to a castle, magnificent and remarkable in its nature, where a lone figure watching these events take place leers down, indifferent but acknowledging. The survivor who managed to escape his trap has managed to make their way into the next stage of the adventure, and what legacy would be left behind by them. He would have to see what they're capable of. The smile, lightning strikes, and he's gone. As Strahd von Zarovich has noticed you. And that is where we're going to end our session this week, guys.
Jesus.
Yes. God damn.
So yeah, not quite a TPK, but unfortunately we did lose 3 party members on that.
I think that counts as TPK when you've knocked each of us out twice.
It was a deadly encounter. I think your guys' mistake was that you decided to do one thing and then the other instead of just committing to one thing and running through it. Well, what does that mean? We'll just have to see next week when we come back with even more Curse of Strahd. We do have 1 surviving member, and there is always more souls to feed to. Well, I don't want to call it the meat grinder, but unfortunately tonight that is almost what it was. Before we go, though, if we have any shout-outs, feel free to scream them out. I've got a few things to go over with. Our usual pitch, our usual sales. Obviously, this is Curse of Strahd, late Saturday evenings. We do this every single week. Gothic horror. And as we've seen tonight, very, very mean GM who does very, very bad things to players, and Roll20 decides that their rolls just can't keep up. I take no fault for this. On Wednesday, we have Cult the Heartland, our new cult series set in the heart of rural America, which Tamara is one of our players in. Come see the crew as they try to look into the murder of Emma Hauser. Later that night, we have A Land of Dark Dreams, a homebrew run by DM Opal, the mysteries of the stillborn dead, scions of Atropos, and more, with me as one of your players. I'm DM Lake. Hi. On Thursdays, we have Scald's Tale. I believe it's a Night of Dark Sun. I may be mistaken there, but it is the Scald's Tale. Our new Pathfinder 2E experience. Followed up that week by Waterdeep Dragon Heist, run by DM Dan. He is fantastic. I may have stolen a little bit of his chase rules for this, but I made him my own because I'm just the kind of guy. And if you missed it this morning, on Saturday mornings, we have Adventure with Advantage, also run by DM Opal, following the crew through the lost mines of Phandelver in eager anticipation for the launch of the Descent into Avernus. We have a jam-packed schedule, and we're always trying to add more to make sure that you always have something to watch here on the channel at TTRP Theater. I hope you all had a lovely evening, but of course, that is where we have to bid adieu, at least for the foreseeable future. I've been Liam Lake. It's been a pleasure having you, and good night, everybody.
Night, guys.